Up and at 'em again. Just going out steep bank, which can be a bit of a trick. Plan D, make it up as I go along route today. Plan A failed, Plan B got changed. Plan C I was going to do, but then I thought, now I'll do Plan D. So I think that's where I am now, Plan D, and even then it's a bit random. I'm on, just come off at A57, so I just parked up here. There's like a longish lay-by before you get to the Snake Inn and everything. So what this is, just drop down here, up here, up to that wall, along that wall, and drop back down into the clough. This is Blackden Brook. So that's going to take me up onto the plateau of Edale Moor. So you've got Blackden Edge up there and Seal Edge not in view yet over to my right. Couple of nice waterfalls on here on Blackden Brook. One's a bit of a fight to get to, but generally worth it. It's like at the side of the path, but below it you have to like scramble down and cross the river and climb a dead tree and fettle about to get to it. But I say usually it's quite a decent one, about a 15-20 footer. Yeah, get up here first. Yeah, so I just parked up there on road. So I'm going to go up here, up Blackden Brook, turn left over Blackden Edge, carry on down a little bit. There's a shooting cabin over there, so I'll drop down the grass butts to the shooting cabin and then continue down that access road. Puts me about half a mile down there, and I've got to walk back half a mile up the Snake Pass. That's the only downside to this one, a bit of road walking to close the loop. Alright, Blackden Brook. That's the car park where I've parked. Just to say, going along this wall, go to the end of here, just got to jump a stream, can be a bit squidgy, and follow it round. Got a bit of a few stream ups to do on the way up, and again it can be a bit squidgy in places. It's 11 o'clock. I'm trying to gauge how long it takes to get to the waterfall. I think it's about 45 minutes. Probably been going 10. Yep, that's a bit better. I could just hear voices. Where the hell is that coming from? People in the courtyard over yonder, just talking. Reflecting back off the hill, and here we are. Sound like they're about 100 yards behind me. This sort of path carries on highish, but it's not the best. So what I tend to do, and just below me down here is a little half decent, usually at least, half decent set of waterfalls. I just got to fight my way down. I'll leave the camera on because obviously these sort of things have a habit, especially when you turn the camera off, of dropping you on your arse. If you're going to do it, you may as well film it. Find a way across the stream. Just lifted in time there, my right foot was just giving way. Very cool plunge pool, reasonably deep, nice flow, shaded, very discreet. Very few people come up here. I think all the times I've come up here I've only ever seen about 4 folk. I'm just naturally getting in cold water. But the theory's there. If that floats your boat, it'd definitely be a good place to fit. But that away, I say you got a couple of stream jumps usually to figure out. You know, there's a bit of a path going up the side, but not always. Watch for things like that. If only I bought my trunks. Very, very close and humid in here. Yeah, that's where we're heading eventually, around that corner, and then a bit of a scramble up onto the plateau around to the right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna jump for no reason here. There's a path more that way. Yeah, here's some the squidgy bits I'm on about. Again, note dramatic. 35 minutes in. I'm going up to Blackden Brook. Again, another little falls and plunge pool. Plenty of them up here. And they're very isolated. Sopping wet trousers. There's a fair bit like bracken to go through. It's all sort of thigh deep and obviously holding a lot of water, so yeah, just get soaked legs. Should be approaching the biggest fall, I think, under that tree actually. Yeah, I think it's just around the corner. I'm just trying a different approach to it. Normally the path now breaks up there halfway up. You have to sort of scramble down through this undergrowth and jump over yonder. So I just found a little bit of a contour into it. So I might just try this as a means. Yeah, looks like it might be a better option. Probably just got to backtrack to get out sensibly rather than fight. But this puts me on the right bank, and the falls over there, just see the top of them. I said there used to be a tree to scramble over. That's looks substantially less than it used to be. Rotted away, I guess, or carried off downstream. Trick is not with your footing on this bit. And hope there's some footing under you. And don't grab a nettle to catch us in. And there we was here. Blackden Brook waterfall. Gotta be what, 15, 18 foot. Alright, I'll have a cup of tea while I'm here. Do a bit of filming and pack. So, fought my way in. Now all I've got to do is fight my way out past there, top of these rocks. Over in distance there you've got top of Green Stitches, Lost Lad, Back Toe Trig, Derwent Edge itself. I think Wheelstones are just behind where it cuts into this side of the hill. And you've got Blackden Edge, and you've got this waterfall here, which is quite a decent one if there's some water flowing. I mean, there is a bit flowing, but when under heavy snow melt, that cascade down there, that would be quite a reasonable sight. So now we've just got to carry on, fight his way around the stream. I think get to that tree, it cuts round a little bit further to the right, and then the clough splits two ways, or two or three ways really, but the way up is the right hand fork. It's got to meander pretty much up the stream really, which can be fun. So I think I'm ready for some new boots, but I've got very little traction on these scarpers. Whereas normally to eat this for breakfast I have to be very steady on my feet where I place them. Not far from the top now, just come around this and scrambled up here. Well, basically that big rock up there is more or less the top, I think. So another couple of minutes I should top out onto Edale Moor itself. Up there puts us onto the plateau, top of Blackden Brook. Come from down there on the road all the way up this. We're on the edge path now, the perimeter path, which takes you all the way around the Edale Moor Kinder Scout loop. Is about 15 miles. Yeah, so now there's a rock outcrop just there which has got like loads of holes in it. Looks like Swiss cheese. Decent place for dinner with a decent overview, so I'll head for that. Nice little bench seat here, sheltered depending on which way the wind's coming from. Well, yeah, you've got all these holes. Which don't look entirely natural. Who knows? Edale Moor Plateau. We're just on the perimeter path. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut back on myself. That's the top of Blackden Clough, which is where I came up, where that big rock is. So I'm going to go past there, carry on along Blackden Edge. You don't want to fall down there, you won't be getting out on it too easily, I don't think. So I went over onto sort of the start of Seal Edge, but now I'm let it backtrack now and I'm on Blackden Edge. I'm going to follow this round probably a mile. Around that corner, a mile and a half maybe, and then the drop off is around that lump. Of course they just had me dinner at that rock outcrop up beyond, so I'm just making his way just past one guy going west. I've got two people behind me following this way. Very quiet on the north side, very quiet. Rarely see more than a dozen folk, but you go that way about 3/4 of a mile and there'll be 1,000. Seat car from here, just sort of window reflecting that way, that white car. Well, you probably won't see it, you might just see some movement down that road. Edale Moor Trig Point. oyster clough, this clough in front. There's a bothy at the far end, or there was an intact bothy, but I think all the roof collapsed in winter last year. Might even be the year before. I've been plenty of times, but I've not been recently. But I know the roof caved in on it, but I don't know if it's ever been repaired in any way. I'll have to make that a little mission, have a spin over and see what state it's in. Come along Blackden Edge now. It's like a crossroads in the path. Go up there, takes you to Madland Stones, which is that rock outcrop. Carry on down there till meander down to Crookston Knoll, which is basically down on that corner. I'm just going to brake left to keep me on the crest of the hill, because I want to break off just down here. Grouse. About 5 grouse there. I'm just coming down this path, and we're filming on the 360, so I might have got them quite close up, because obviously I sort of startled them. Dropped off the perimeter edge, and there's a series of grouse butts. Should drop me out to a shooting cabin below me somewhere here. Follow the, actually I've done this bit before, I've not done from the shooting cabin down. So that's the idea at the moment, is go down to the cabin and then pick up this new path down to the road, down to the A57, which is all the way down there. So it's all downhill from here, that is for sure. Around this bit of a corner and just 100 metres, if that, is the shooting cabin. You don't see it until you're right on it. It's just literally in a little crease over that little nib. I don't know what they drive up there, but I bet it's fun. The ATVs or something. There's roof, just see roof and chimney. One shooting cabin. Right, shooting cabin. I'll come off of Blackden Edge up top of there, follow down some grouse butts, brings me out to this. And I've just got to say, all this bit is new to me, but logically follow the motorised trail down should bring me out to the road somewhere. Which way to the road? The oldie farmhouse. Just brought me down. Shooting cabins up on top of that ravine up there. Just cut down through this sort of farmland. And there's A57. Random football pitch in the middle of nowhere. Walk across the ford and clean my boots. I'll go across the little footbridge. So on the A57, come down over yonder. Up there, roughly, is the shooting cabin. So I came over the top of there, and that's Blackden Clough where I started. Went up the side of that wall. So just around this corner, there's the car park. Here's the lay-by. Just have to watch this bugger when you try and come in. It's got like a curb on this side. Bit of a drop off. What I tend to do if I'm parking in here is not try and come in at that one, go to the end and pull in and then reverse in. You have to drop that curb then. I mean, you've probably got clearance to do it, but I won't want to risk it. Especially if you've got cars coming behind you, you want to do it at speed. Alright, 6.42 miles, 4 hours 8 minutes. And the time is 14:56. So yeah, just before 3 o'clock, which is about when I said we'd turn up here. Yeah, she's just bottomed the car out doing that.